Hey guys, Craig and Quiz, I am back again with another Battlefront 2 video. And in this video I'm going to be talking about why I think the new season, the new DLC Season 2, has really put a final end to Battlefront 2. Now, through the development, through the time that Battlefront 2 has been out, like many, I've kind of had the hope that we'd get a good DLC. We just had to wait, we had to wait for the whole microtransaction BS malarkey to be over and like the whole progression system to be fixed and everything, and then we get Clone Wars. But basically, for anyone that doesn't know, probably already do, but for anyone that doesn't know, Season 2 is basically all but officially being confirmed as solo content stuff, like solo, meaning the new film that's coming out, I think next month. It's been confirmed as solo story, whatever it's called, content, which I'm not that psyched about that film, but that's a whole separate thing. Now, first and foremost, despite what people have been asking for since EA's first Battlefront game, which was like nearly 3-4 years ago, they've refused to give us Clone Wars content. In the last Battlefront game and in the new Battlefront game, in the one that you're seeing me play in the background of this video now, we haven't had Clone Wars content. They've refused. They've straight up refused at every single turn, every single corner. And like I said, I had hope. A lot of people had hope. Once they got the whole progression system out of the way, once they fixed, you know, the base foundation of the game. I didn't hate the progression system a whole lot to me, but I know a lot of people hated it. And I thought once they fix that, you know, no more BS. They're gonna give us the good stuff. They're gonna give us what the fans want, what players want. But at each turn, at each chance, they've just straight up refused to give us Clone Wars content. Now, Clone Wars content has become something of a metaphor for Battlefront 2 because it's not necessarily Clone Wars content that everyone cares about. It's just getting the content that players want. That's what every game should give. Don't give the players content that they don't want. Give them what they do want and what they straight up ask for. The players know exactly what they want. So it's been like this thing ever since 2015 Battlefront. That like we want something, but it hasn't been put in the game. It's like they're trying to make the game they want, not the game that the players want. So yeah, they've straight up refused at every turn. And now I think the only reason they ever put Clone Wars content into Battlefront 2, it was because it was really just to scam people, to trick people into buying this game. They gave us a few Clone Wars maps, a few Clone Wars characters, to get everyone to buy and play the game, and give us kind of like an inbuilt hope for more Clone Wars content in the future. Obviously, they didn't straight up confirm that we'd get more Clone Wars content in the future of Battlefront 2 at any given moment, but you'd assume that because that's what everyone else, what every player is asking for, and because that's really the reason why people wanted this game at all. It was because it had Clone Wars stuff in. Because everyone knows in 2015, the 2015 Battlefront, they lost so many players, so many potential players, because it was just crap. It was just original trilogy, boring maps. Some of them were good, don't get me wrong. Best in the DLC for best, but that was amazing. But I thought the Outer DLC was absolute ass. It was so bad. And like Nyan Num and Dengar as heroes and villains was terrible. So I think they just put Clone Wars content into this game just to like scam people into buying another Battlefront game made by EA, because they knew that they wouldn't do it otherwise if it was just going to be the same stuff, Dengar and Greedo and frickin' Nyan Num as heroes and villains. Now, we waited a full 7 months for new content. Just let that sink in. 7 months for some new content. I know we got the Last Jedi DLC, but that wasn't really anything substantial. It was one map. It's an awful map in my opinion. I hate Crate. It's a pile of crap. And Captain Phasma and Finn are alright, but I don't think anyone actually requested those heroes, at least not Finn. What did he do that was good in the movies? He just got beaten up in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, really. Captain Phasma, she's not that really awesome at all either, in my opinion. She's just a stormtrooper that wears shiny armor. I don't think either of them were very highly requested, so yeah, we waited 7 months, we didn't really get any significant DLC, and instead of giving us a good, highly requested bit of content and DLC like Clone Wars to make up for that time, all they do now is force solo movie content down our throats, just like they did with Finn, Captain Phasma, and Crate. Again, the only reason those bits of content released was because The Last Jedi was coming out. That's the only, they wanted to force the Disney content down our throats instead of giving us what they wanted. Because in the time that it took to make Captain Phasma, Finn, and Crate, they could have given us Utapau or Geonosis with Count Dooku and Obi-Wan or something, but no, they don't. They don't give us heroes and villains and maps that we all want. They give us Disney stuff instead. Now, some people claim that players are being entitled and acting spoilt to demand, quote, finger quotes around, demand Clone Wars content. But for many, including me and also many of you, the Clone Wars content in this game was literally the only reason we bought the game. I did not give a damn about the game when it was announced, at first at least, because I just thought it was going to be original trilogy crap. And I say crap, it was good in the last game, But like I said, Nine None and Dengar, they were awful. Why? They weren't even in the film for more than like 10 seconds each. They shouldn't have been in the film, in the game rather. They really shouldn't. So the only reason that a lot of us bought this new Battlefront 2 was for Clone Wars content. That was the selling factor. That was the driving factor. That was like the selling pitch. That was why people decided to spend $60 on this game and place faith in EA to do have a good second try at making a Star Wars game or a Star Wars Battlefront game. So I don't think it's spoiled or entitled at all to request Clone Wars content. If it's what players want, it's what players want, and it's what we wanted ever since 2015, even before that, in like 2013 when it was announced that EA was making a Battlefront game. The original trilogy maps and characters weren't a very big deal because we saw a lot of them in the last Battlefront game in 2015. And those original trilogy characters and maps really did not offer as much fun or potential fun as Clone Wars content ever could. No one would rather have Nien Nunb or Dengar instead of General Grievous or Mace Windu. The same goes for Captain Phasma and Finn. Who would rather have those characters instead of Grievous or Mace Windu? No one would. No one would. I think 99% of people would not want that. So it's just down to not listening to fans, not listening to the players. Also, no one would want Outer Rim DLC from the last Battlefront. And really, it's kind of been confirmed that the solo content that's coming out, it's going to be themed around Outer Rim DLC. It's going to be themed around the Outer Rim at least, because I think that's where the solo film's going to be set, or around there. Or it's going to lead up to the Outer Rim and to Mos Eisley and stuff, because obviously it's a prequel to A New Hope for Han Solo and Chewbacca, kind of. At least, like I said, no one would want kind of like similar Outer Rim DLC instead of Utapau or Geonosis. No one would want that. It's simply down to not listening to the fans, like I said. They've also recycled many characters and a lot of content from the last game already. Now, obviously, we need Luke Skywalker in this game. We need Darth Vader in this game. But what I mean by recycled is they've put a lot of focus on it. They've put a lot of focus on the original trilogy characters. Give us the original trilogy characters. I'm not saying that. But they've put a Bespin map, the Cloud City map they put in from the last game. What was the point in that? It was a cool map, but if I wanted to play that map so much, I'd just go and play Battlefront 2 from 2015. The servers are still up, the players still playing. In the time that it took to port the Bespin Cloud City, that was the jetpack cargo map for anyone that doesn't know. In the time that it took to do that, they could have just given us a small new Clone Wars map, or just a small new map in any case of anything. Even the Act 2 island where Luke Skywalker hides in The Last Jedi and Force Awakens. Even that, I mean, a lot of people will be like, how dare you insult the Bespin map? But like I said, if you like it that much, go play Battlefront 2015. This is a new game. We've paid another $60 for it, or pounds, depending on where you are in the world. We shouldn't be getting the same content that was in the last game. And now they're doing the same thing. There's been teasers that they're putting Extraction into this game. For anyone that doesn't know what Extraction is, it was I think it's Extraction they mentioned. But they basically said they're going to put a game mode into this game with the next season of DLC that we saw in the last game. I can't remember if it was DLC in the last game or if it was in the base game at all. But either way, it was in the last game. So again, we're paying for straight up recycled content. This content has been in the last game, as has the Bespin Cloud City map. We're not getting any new content. So we paid for something that has slightly better graphics, as this game has slightly better graphics than the last game. And some of the guns make different noises. That's what we paid for, apparently, in this game. Now they're focusing the only DLC we've had in 7 months, like I said, over half a year. They're focusing the only DLC that we've had in 7 months on characters and maps and game modes that we've had in this game since launch and in the last Star Wars Battlefront game. Like I said, that's what I meant when I was talking about putting focus on characters that we've had for like 4 years already, or no, nearly 3 years already, like Solo. Because this Solo story film, it's not going to make any new characters or any interesting new characters. A lot of focus is going to be placed around Lando Calrissian, Chewbacca, and Han Solo. All of which were in the 2015 Battlefront game. All of which are in this game. So we're getting focus placed on the only DLC we've had in over half a year. All that focus is going to be placed on characters that have already been in the game for that 7 months that this game's been out, and for the original game, the 2015 Battlefront game. It makes sense. It really doesn't. And this solo DLC season is nothing but bad news for the players, I don't think, and for the game, because many players are going to completely give up on Battlefront 2 now. This is kind of what this video is. I still love Battlefront 2. I might stream it every so often, occasionally. I might play it occasionally, because I still love it. It's just lacking in content and lacking in compelling content, at least as of this new DLC that is coming out. I think, like I said, a lot of players are going to give up on Battlefront 2 now that we have to wait even longer for Clone Wars content, or maybe we'll never get Clone Wars content at all. This means that the play count will drop even lower than it already has, because people are just going to give up on the game, and it's going to become even harder to find full matches, which is never a good thing in any game whatsoever. The player base are going to die, is what I'm saying. Now, it's not necessarily DICE's fault. A lot of people on the internet, YouTube comments, things like that, Reddit, they're blaming DICE, the developers, but it's not. EA are the ones that fund DICE's game development, so they get to choose where their money goes and what it's used for, and also what goes into the game. And also Disney has the final, last, ultimate word on Battlefront 2 content, and any Star Wars content ever, film, TV, games, anything. Disney has the last word on it, and obviously they would rather have EA and DICE put Disney-related content into the game instead of putting Clone Wars content in the game. No matter what people ask for, Disney is always going to favor their own content before Clone Wars content, obviously. So they'll obviously want to put priority on the Disney content, and they're not really going to want to put too much Clone Wars content into the game at any point. And I said this when the game first came out in my videos for this game and similar videos to this. They're never going to want to put Star Wars Clone Wars content into this game, because that was created by and owned by George Lucas and not Disney. Now, a good example of this is, well, we got Crate, we got Finn, and we got Captain Phasma instead of content that we actually wanted. Like I said, I don't think many people requested Finn and Captain Phasma, and many people hate Crate. I wish there was a way of turning the map Crate off of this game, because I hate it. Every time it comes on and I'm streaming this game, I just leave the game. I despise the map. I think it's such a badly made and boring map. It's a cool place for the film to take place in, but it doesn't make a good map. It really doesn't, I don't think. It's just a snipe fest, and it's not a whole lot of fun, I don't think. Now, don't get me wrong, I still love Battlefront 2, but this video is kind of like just I guess a second review of this game. It's undoubtedly going downhill from here, is what I'm saying. There is no hope. We always had a bit of hope for Clone Wars content. We even had hope in 2015 for the original Battlefront to get some good Clone Wars content, but I think it's going downhill from here. We might never get Clone Wars content. Like I said, I think the only reason we got Clone Wars content in this game in the first place is because EA and DICE and Disney were like, well, if we don't put any Clone Wars content in the game, there's just never going to be any players. So I think they only put it in as a scam to get people to play the game, and then obviously those people ended up hoping for more Clone Wars content, because that was the only reason many players bought this goddamn game. But then it just resulted in, we got a tiny bit of Clone Wars content, and then just loads of focus on the new Disney Star Wars stuff, which, I'm a somewhat big fan on the Disney Star Wars stuff, but nowhere near as much as I am on the Clone Wars. Same with the TV show. I love Clone Wars way more than Rebels, and I think many people do. Honestly, my final word on this is Battlefront 2, in my opinion, has become more of an advertisement for Disney Star Wars films more than a game at this point. It's more about just advertising the new Disney content out, Rebels and Star Wars, Disney Star Wars films, more than it is making a decent and fun game to play at this point. It's sad, but I think that's it. It's gone downhill from there. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Obviously, this is probably going to be a heated debate in the Battlefront community. I've seen a lot of people commenting about this on YouTube and Reddit, so if you've got any thoughts and opinions, leave them in the comments. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.